ThoughtWorks has been doing Agile software development for the better part of a decade. And with that experience, we've learned about its challenges. The first is there's no Agile in a box. There is no one cookie-cutter way to empower your software delivery teams to deliver their best. It's about your people. And your tools should reflect that. Your tools should embrace various methodologies. Your tools should stay out of your way. Second, Agile isn't about iterative planning or requirements definition processes alone. It's about empowering your teams overall to embrace change, which includes engineering best practices. ThoughtWorks Studios has delivered an ALM solution that adapts to your organization's needs and supports engineering best practices. The ThoughtWorks Studios Adaptive ALM consists of 3 products: Mingle, an agile project management tool; Cruise, a release management tool; and Twist, a test automation tool. First, let's see how Mingle adapts to the way you work. Mingle is flexible in a lot of ways. It allows you to view data in ways that make sense to you. In this card wall, we have cards organized and grouped by status and sorted and colored by priority. I can quickly change this to size. In this case, we call it estimate planning, if that's relevant to you. As a project administrator, I can add field values on the fly as well. So you can see in this project, we have priorities of low, medium, high, critical, supercritical. Say, for example, I wanted to add a new status, super critical. And I can do that on the fly easily. We also have a feature called card trees. Card trees allow you to dice data in different ways. This is a feature planning tree where we have stories are part of epics, and I can quickly move a story over to another epic without hassle. Lastly, because all of this data in Mingle is custom, we have custom charting and graphing. As you can see, the statuses that I have for story cards are available to this chart. And I can make charts and graphs that are relevant for managers and leave people who are doing the work to use views like card walls and card trees. Before I talk about Twist and Cruise, I want to talk about engineering practices, because engineering practices are crucial to making Agile projects work. For example, I worked on a project where from a planning perspective, we were in good shape. We were looking to add a new feature at the end of the release, and that's what a lot of Agile methodologies talk about. We had the scope, we had the time, but at the end of the day, we weren't able to deliver the feature because the engineering team was afraid of the risk. We didn't have good functional test coverage, and we couldn't add the feature without necessarily touching a lot of parts of the application, and it was too risky. If you don't have engineering practices, you can't ensure that the change you can plan for is the change you can execute. So now let's take a look at Twist. Twist, our test automation tool, bridges the gap between requirements and tests. It allows you, in the language of your domain, to write functional automated tests. As you can see here, we have an example scenario that describes the requirements, executes the test in plain English. As you can see here, this test actually works. It writes ThoughtWorks and verifies that the first result is ThoughtWorks delivering business value through technology. As you can see, this is a very powerful tool for allowing your business analysts, your testers, and your developers to work together. And lastly, let's see how Cruise helps you predictively release software. Cruise, our release management tool, allows you to model how you work as well. In this example, we have a build pipeline, which is several steps in a build modeled for an entire release process. Here you have the build itself, the application being put into a container, say the app server of your choice, browser test, a user acceptance test environment, and then production. You can see we also have gates modeled as well. So all of these stages happen automatically. So if the container stage passes, it automatically runs the browser test. You can manually do things like deploy to production with the appropriate approval. Because Cruise allows you to automate your release process, you can predictably and reliably deploy software. All of our tools embody the same general concept. We want to allow you to model or build what you do into our tools. In sum, together, this is an adaptive way to manage your entire software development lifecycle process, which is adaptive ALM. This diagram illustrates how the ThoughtWorks Studio's adaptive ALM covers the full lifecycle of the software development process. Our tools are practitioner-centric, and they facilitate collaboration across multiple roles, as you can see across the top. Mingle addresses tracking and planning, metrics and reports, issue tracking, and requirements management. Twist addresses functional testing, test suite management, and test evolution. Cruise addresses continuous integration, build and configuration management, and continuous deployment. The ThoughtWorks Studio's adaptive ALM integrates into your existing infrastructure via support for multiple SCMs and lightweight RESTful APIs. Ultimately, adaptive ALM is a philosophy. We want to support as many methodologies as possible, including Scrum, XP, and even Waterfall. Moreover, we want to help you customize your process on top of a specific methodology. So if you want to track bananas, you can track bananas. Lastly, we want to grow with you. As you gain experience in Agile methodologies, our tools will be right there growing with you. We think that as you use our tools, you'll see that there's no Agile in the box and that engineering best practices help you deliver software. That's adaptive ALM.